This is Italian manufacturer Mobilvetta's K-Yacht 85. Italians like to say they're good navigators, and with good reason. Think of Christopher Columbus. And this is Mobilvetta's attempt to bring all those centuries of shipbuilding experience into the world of motorhomes. You can see that in the sleek outside shape of the motorhome, the way it leans slightly forward, almost as if it's carving through the waves, and in the monochrome of the decals along the edges. In fact, it looks quite like a super yacht that you might see in Monaco. But there are other ways this motorhome resembles a yacht as well, and that brings us inside. As you can see, this motorhome really does take the nautical theme inside with the wood veneer panelling and the chrome retainers on a lot of the shelves. I can just imagine there being some important naval trophy put up on some of them. It's also the kind of thing I think Roman Abramovich would feel comfortable in, with all the sort of pearlescent finish to the lockers, and then particularly with all the LED lighting that's around here that really does brighten the place up. However, it's actually called a Tekno line, this particular range of motorhomes, which means it's geared at a slightly younger audience. And I'd also say that there's often quoted by dealers that while it's a man who pays for the motorhome, it's a woman who chooses it. I don't think most blokes would be particularly put off by being inside here, because there's very little in the way of anything too feminine. There's no chintz, there's no kind of floral stuff. There's just nice smooth lines everywhere. And you can see there are clever designs elsewhere in this motorhome too. Now this is one of the best designed kitchens I've ever seen in a motorhome. I think designers of kitchens in houses could learn a lot from this kitchen. You get a 3-burner hob. You get a bin, which is always useful. There's still enough space to do all your chopping in. But look what happens when I lift up the sink cover and turn it into a chopping board. You then have a chopping board, which is perfectly stable, right above the sink, which is where you probably want to leave all your droppings afterwards. And look what's underneath here too. Open the cupboard. It looks like a fairly standard shelf, but it comes all the way out there, and there's loads of room to put pans and things in. With the overhead lockers on top as well, and a shelf for spices next to the fridge here, I don't think you'd ever run out of space in this kitchen. And just behind the kitchen is this large bedroom. You get 2 thick single beds, and they're both over 6 foot long, and they are super comfortable to sleep in, believe me. Underneath this one is a wardrobe with a hugely creative amount of space, not just with a hanging rail and the shelves at the back, but also with these little cubby holes where you can put socks and boxes and things like that. There's another wardrobe with shelves on the other side, enough to put a suitcase in there. And there's more storage space under the steps here. But best of all, obviously, it's quite nice to have a little cuddle up at night time as well, sometimes. If you want to do that, simply undo the latch here, pull out the central bit, pull over the cushion, and you have a double bed that is over 2 meters in each direction. Perfect for a nice night's sleep. On the right-hand side of the bedroom is the washroom, with a lovely wide stainless steel sink. On the left-hand side, there's a great shower as well. And for total privacy, you can move across this Japanese-style screen. In fact, the only slight niggle I have about this motorhome is the drop-down bed above me. You have to turn these swivel seats back to face the front and put them into exactly the right position before it will come down. But there are lots of good points about this van as well. On the outside, you don't really notice them because they're very sleekly designed, but there are sockets for an external gas point, which means you can have a great barbecue, and an external shower, which is fantastic when you're coming back from the beach full of sand. Most of all, this is the only motorhome I've come across so far that has the luxury of underfloor heating. It's not the only form of heating it has, because it also has normal blown air heating, but it makes a huge difference in the morning, because you can get up and have a nice cup of coffee and have warm toes.